our share. We are witnessing already the impact. Rising temperatures, erratic rainfall, coastal erosion, loss of biodiversity. These have other repercussions on our lives and even food security. Yet, despite the increasing scientific evidence and policy actions, public understanding and engagement remains limited. So too often, climate information stays confined to technical reports, policy circles. The science is right, the science is strong, but the message does not always reach the ordinary people who actually need it most: the farmers, the fishermen, the youth, the business leaders, and the everyday citizen whose choices shape our collective future. This is the communication gap that the initiative seeks to close. The National Climate and Environmental Communication Initiative is designed as a comprehensive national platform to build a community of skilled communicators, journalists, corporate actors, and educators who can deliver clear, relatable, and impactful environmental messages. It's one thing having the knowledge and another thing communicating it. So to ensure that every Ghanaian can understand, engage with, and take part in climate action, the initiative will strengthen the capacity of media professionals and communicators to report on environmental and climate issues accurately and creatively. The initiative will support corporate sustainability communication and ESG reporting, promoting transparency and accountability. The initiative will engage youth and communities through the action of climate empowerment, the ACE framework, and equally foster collaboration among government, academia, and private sector, and also the development partners to promote a united national response. As the global community prepares for the Conference of Party 30, COP30 in Brazil later this year, in fact next month, the communication on climate action is shifting towards implementation, transparency, and inclusion. For Ghana, this means strengthening not only our policies and commitment, but also the way we communicate them. Effective climate communication is essential for demonstrating our progress on the nationally determined contributions, the just transition, and the action for climate empowerment. This initiative positions Ghana to tell its own story, one of resilience, innovation, and leadership in a language that our people, our partners, and the world can understand. As we approach COP30, this initiative ensures that our national voice is clear, unified, and grounded in public understanding and participation. Because a world-informed nation is a stronger negotiating nation. Science provides the evidence, policy provides the direction, but communication provides the connection. When communication fails, even the best climate strategy loses momentum. But when communication succeeds, it inspires action from the community level to the boardroom, from the classroom to parliament. Effective communication translates complex science to public understanding. It makes the abstract real turns concerns into commitment. That is why the EPA is proud to lead this initiative to ensure that climate messages and environmental situations and informations are not just heard, but also understood and acted upon. The initiative will strive on partnership. We believe that the EPA cannot do it alone. We are proud to have the Natford University as our academic anchor and look forward to strong collaboration with the Ghana Journalists Association, the Media Foundation for West Africa, corporate network, and development partners. Together, we can make climate communication, environmental communication, not just an occasional campaign, but a sustained national movement. As we launch the initiative today, I call on all of us, scientists, communicators, policymakers, students, and citizens, to play our part in amplifying Ghana's message on climate and the environment. Let us move from awareness to empowerment, from knowledge to action, and from isolated effort to collective responsibility. Because climate communication, environment communication, is not just about sharing information, it's about also shaping the future that we want. Distinguished guests, this initiative, the National Climate and Environmental Communication Initiative, represents a new chapter in our country's climate journey. This is where knowledge meets action. This is repeated severally. It bears repeating. Knowledge meets action. On behalf of the Environmental Protection Authority, I wish to thank you all our partners, all our stakeholders, for believing in this vision. Let's work together to empower the voices for a sustainable future and to make Ghana's message resonate strongly as we head to COP30 and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Please give another round of applause. As I indicated earlier, there's a slight change in the program. So we're going to do the launch before we take on the other items on the program. So I will call upon Professor Nanama Brown-Kluche, our dear chairperson, and I think to have a gender balance, the Pro Vice Chancellor of Knutsford University to come and do the official launch of the NCECI. Um, yes, you can say something. In the name, in the name of the Father. Yeah.
Thank you very much. On behalf of our partners and for the support from our stakeholders and the citizens of Ghana, in the name of the Father and of the Son, with your support, and of the Holy Spirit, we officially launch, you know, the National Climate and Environment Communication Initiative. It's not cutting. Maybe hold it, yeah, the cloth.
It was good we had a gender balance.
It's not simple. Pull it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we
Thank you
have
very
it
much.
launched.
Thank you. So thank you very much. Our professor would have to take her leave. She has another meeting, so we'll allow you to leave us because I know how tight your schedule is. Thank you so much for gracing the occasion, and we will join you there after this program. Thank you very much, Prof. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay. Hey, media, we are here for you. We are here for you. I don't know whether she can even do. She can't do it, so because she's going for another program. Yeah? Up, and so let's give them 5 minutes to do the interviews because she's leaving for another program. So yeah, okay. So whilst we wait for them, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Operations, Professor Mike Ayamga Adongo. I would also like to introduce to you the Pro Vice Chancellor of Knatsford University, our partner, Bishop John Kwabena Essel. Hey, Kwamina Essel, sorry about that. I would also like to introduce Mr. Frank Eje Inteko, Inteko, the Director, Center for Sustainability, Environment, and Climate Change at the Knatsford University. I would also like to introduce our Director for Climate Change and Ozone at the Environmental Protection Authority, Mr. Felix Adotre. We are also blessed to have in our midst the Director for Administration at the Environmental Protection Authority, Mrs. Elizabeth Otipeseku, and our Director for Human Resource, who employed all of us, Miss Joyce Okai. And then we have the Acting Director for Climate Change, um, my brother, Miss Dr. Emmanuel Obin, Techi Obin. And last but not the least, we have our Reverend, who is the Deputy Director with the Administration Department of the Authority, Reverend Anyable. In fact, I said last but not the least, I'm also here. My name is Audrey Kwaku, Director for Corporate Affairs. Good. So let's have some musical interlude whilst we wait for the reporters to come back, please. Please bear with us because they are the reason why we are here. Thank you. Welcome back from your interview session. Today is all about you, so we indulge you to listen carefully. As the CEO indicated, we are collaborating with the first private university, which is an achievement. We want to ensure that science communication is done in a manner in which everybody can understand. And so we are very grateful to have you here with us. I will now call upon our stakeholder and partner, Bishop John Kwamina Essel, the Pro Vice Chancellor of the Knaxford University, to give us a goodwill message. Let's applaud him as he takes over from me.
Madam Chair, distinguished guests, and the media, I wish to say that Knaxford University is very happy to be associated with this initiative. This is an important initiative of the nation, and we are glad that the government, through the EPA, has believed in a private university and so decided to partner us. To us, that's an indication that the private universities can also help in the development of our country. And so we want to thank government and thank the Chief Executive Officer and all the directors for giving us this opportunity. The subject under discussion is very dear to our hearts as an educational institution. We are there to teach and to inform and to help transform resources into a better one. When we look at the data, the science regarding the environmental and climate issues, we believe and feel it threatens the very livelihood of us. And not only us today, but more importantly, our unborn children, the future. And so the issues regarding sustainability has been a very key interest to us. And wherever we have to contribute in making sure that we all work towards the sustainability of our environment is done and is done well. Again, we are happy to be working with communicators and journalists. Knaxford University has also cherished the role that journalists and communicators play in our national development. In fact, since our establishment 15 years ago, almost every year until quite recently, almost every year we give training free of charge to journalists of all walks of life to give them basic education or knowledge in management, in leadership, in communication, all the essentials that they need to do their work well. And it's because we believe that the journalists can make and unmake us as a nation. In fact, our development largely hangs on you. And as noted by the chairperson, if you misinform the very actors of our people, we get everything wrong. If you give them the right information, we'll get everything Right. And so we are happy to once again work with EPA in giving you all the things you need to know, um, giving you the right data sources, and empowering you to be connected to the people on the ground. Our environment needs to be protected. We have only one world. There is nowhere to be. And if we destroy this, we can't live in and we cannot have it for our next generation. And so, Madam Chair, I wish to say that Oxford University is very happy to be associated with this. We will do our best to ensure that these initiatives becomes a success and that the impact is also felt by all. God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bishop. Let's give him another round of applause. It's always a joy to partner with other institutions to achieve the goals of ensuring environmental sustainability. And so we are very grateful for the support that you have given us. And so we ask ourselves, why are we here? What is the National Climate and Environmental Communication Initiative all about? I will call upon Mr. Frank J. Inteko, the Director for the Center for Sustainability, Environmental and Climate Studies of the Knutsford University, to give us a brief presentation on why we are here. Thank you very much, and let's welcome him.
Professor Chairperson, I would like to crave your indulgence to stand on the existing protocols because I want to make this a little bit short. The Professor Chairman and the CEO of EPA, they've all hit on some of the issues that are so important and dear to our house, and for which cause an initiative like this should be brought to bear. And so we all know that climate change and the environmental degradation continues to pose severe threat to Ghana's sustainability or development sustainability, our public health, and of course, our livelihoods. And despite the growing global and national attention to climate issues, effective communication of environmental and climate-related information remains a major challenge. The scientific and policy messages often fail to reach the general public in accessible and relatable form, thereby limiting understanding and action. And it is in this recognition of this gap that the Environmental Protection Authority, in partnership with Knutsford University, is introducing the National Climate and Environmental Communication Initiative. It is a comprehensive national platform to empower communicators at all levels to promote informed decision-making, behavior change, through strengthening the capacity of journalists, communicators, and corporate bodies, public institutions, and development actors to convey climate and environmental messages accurately and creatively and effectively. And the goal is to build a national cadre of skilled communicators capable of promoting informed decision-making, behavior change, and collaborative action for environmental sustainability and climate resilience. We have set for ourselves the following objectives, and first one is to enhance understanding of climate science, policies, and national commitment. The NDCs, the ACEs, and the SDGs among communicators and corporate actors. Two, the objective is to strengthen skills in environmental journalism, storytelling, and strategic communication. The third objective is to support corporate and institutional sustainability communication and environmental social governance, what we call the ESG reporting. The fourth objective is to foster collaboration among media, government, academia, the private sector, and development partners. And the last one is to promote public awareness, youth participation, and community action through the Action for Climate Empowerment as ACE framework. In doing this, we have targeted certain groups. The first amongst them, as you can expect, is the journalists and the media professionals. We also have corporate communication officers and sustainability managers in various establishments. We are also targeting the civil society and the NGO communicators, government communication unit, academia, and tertiary students in media and communication. These days, there are a lot of universities that are providing these courses. We also want to target development partners and donor agencies. The scope and some of the thematic areas that we've chosen include the climate and environmental literacy, sustainability and corporate communication, media and storytelling for climate action, digital communication and social media engagement, action for climate empowerment, the ACE, and response measures and just transition. And we are doing all these things. We have set for ourselves certain outcomes that we believe at the end of the day should be noticed wherever you go in this country. And we expect to enhance capacity of journalists, communicators, and corporate actors to deliver accurate and compelling environmental messages. It is also to strengthen institutional and corporate sustainability communication frameworks. You know, there are a lot of organizations that have these units and outfits, but very often you don't even hear about them. We want to help them to come out to join the crusade so that we can all find a way to educate ourselves. We want to, at the end of the day, increase public awareness and behavioral change in favor of the environmental protection and climate action. We also want to foster greater collaboration among media, private sector, the public institutions, and the climate advocacy. In doing all of these things, ladies and gentlemen, we realize that the private sector is a crucial stakeholder in the NCECI. So corporate participation will be promoted through a tiered partnership model offering visibility, recognition, and capacity building benefits. So to achieve this partnership with the private stakeholders, we have lined up some juicy engagement approaches and incentives packages for corporate bodies. The NCECI will be led by the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, of course, in collaboration or in partnership with NASFOD. But we are going to work closely with government or the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation. We will work with the Ghana Journalists Association, We want to work with the Media Foundation for West Africa. We work with corporate and private sector associations like the AGL, the Ghana Chamber of Mines, banking and energy sectors, universities and communication institutions, and NASFOS has already taken the lead in that. And of course, development and donor partners. And in conclusion, Professor Chair, ladies and gentlemen, this is, in a nutshell, the roadmap that the National Climate and Environmental Communication Initiative has developed for the empowerment of voices for a sustainable future in the coming days. And I say coming days, not coming years. We want to start this as early as from tomorrow. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Frank Nceci. I'm sure you're all happy about this initiative. Are you happy? The year is not very. Are you happy? Good. For those of us in the communication space, we are always happy when there are some initiatives that bring our friends from the media together. So thank you so much. It's now time for a few questions. A few questions. So if you have any question, you can raise your hand. And then we have our colleagues from Natford University and the climate change unit of the Department of the Authority to answer the questions. One of the questions I would start with is that he says we are starting today, or is it tomorrow? So please ask those questions. Thank you.
All right. My name is Carlos Caloni. I work with Joy News. Based on what we've been told here, we understand this is supposed to benefit us, the journalists, but we've not been told how we can actually benefit from it. So I want some light, thrown on that for us.
Thomas Abuga, CEO of Comfort Ghana. I think the initiative is quite laudable, but when it comes to incineration, we still don't know Ghana's stand. I don't know waste to energy. How is the initiative tackling it? Is waste to energy something Ghana should look for, or we shouldn't support? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other person? Any other person?
Yes, thank you so much, Carlos. Yes, so we are going to have a roadmap, hopefully after COP, where we'll define how the journalists are going to be engaged. And that plan will involve training and that will be out very soon, especially after COP. Thank you. And the second question? Mr.
Okay, thank you. Right, as Mr. Hussein answered, when we come back, we are looking at the benefits that you made it right. Yes, at least capacity building is one. When we are back, it starts tomorrow. So tomorrow, as the roadmap begins to work, when we come back from COP, there will definitely be training for you. So there will be capacity building, and then you would also gain the power to present the message the way as it is to the community. I mean, Chair mentioned a number of them, the traders, so that they would appreciate it. And then we address environmental issues, we address the climate issues, moving from the high carbon rate to the low carbon system. And when it happens this way, we are all going to benefit. You benefit, I'll benefit. Our parents in the village or the small towns would also benefit. So it's a collective benefit that we are going to gain. And I think that is a. Then on the issue about the waste to energy, it's an ongoing exercise, an ongoing project. So definitely, when you have gained this training or the capacity uh, to monitor these kind of projects, definitely there would be, we will be able to, even journalists will be able to develop projects to source for funding to do so many uh, activities as far as climate and environmental communication is concerned.
Thank you, Director.
All right. My name is Bismarck Nchubusiako. I'm a former student to Natford University College as well. So my question to EPA is that with the EPA partnership with Natford University, how are they going to empower the institution to take on this mantle? Thank you.
I am Dolawson, and
Please, from which
I
media house?
from Ignite. I am privy to how Natford University is helping in this climate business. And I know how they've engaged journalists, trained them. Some even had to go through courses, certificate courses for this project. So you can see they are doing a lot to help this climate sustainability thing. And we go to programs like this, we'll cover. They will tell you it is a capacity building something. We'll go and we'll do that. But we don't feel the impact in the society. We'll come and report on our media, platforms. People will just listen, watch, and that's it. My question is, how innovative is this very one going to be? And how seriously is it going to impact on the society? Because we all know where we've gotten to in Ghana in this fight. Thank you very much.
Please, Natsport would like to respond. Okay. So please, if you can come up for the cameras, yes. They've requested that when we are responding, we should come up so that they can cover us. Yes.
All right. So, all right. So, gentlemen, thank you for acknowledging the effort that NASFOD is putting into this whole project. As the Pro-Chancellor said, we've been doing this since the inception of NASFOD University. But there's one thing, if those of you who have attended some of our lectures, one thing that I keep emphasizing is that Ghanaian journalists, you need to start thinking about specialization. It appears every journalist in this country is talking about politics. When it comes to politics, people know all kinds of things to say. But there's the need for specialization. And it is one of the reasons NASFOD decided that we will help journalists to understand some of these things. So for this particular initiative, sometimes you might think that you are talking about climate issue, you are thinking about the environmental issue. But the question is, if you are always saying something and people are not doing anything about it, it could also mean that you are not saying it the right way. So for this initiative, we want to bring in people who have specialized in the area of the environment, the climate issues, so that they can properly train you. So by the time you leave this session, you know, and you should be somebody who can go out there and properly, effectively, you know, explain things to people. You know, because we are all on the social media. We hear some of what some of these guys will say. Even though the gun is there pointing at them, they say don't care. Maybe because the message has not gone so well. You cannot always fight things with force. Sometimes, but the way you carve your speech can turn people around. It's just like preaching the gospel. Some people are hardened criminals, but if you present the gospel the right way, you can change them. And this is what we want to do with the climate and the environmental issues. And somebody was talking about what are the benefits. I think that others have tried to say something about it. But, you know, imagine you becoming a specialist in an area of communication. There are a lot of opportunities for you. So please, help us as journalists. When we call you to come for the training, I know sometimes we are busy, but whatever you can do to persuade your managers to allow you to attend these meetings, please do it. It's going to be of benefit to you. Thank you.
Madam Chair, let me just add a little to it. I think the uniqueness of this program also stems from the fact that this is being done with EPA, and EPA is an important implementing agency authority in our country. And so whatever knowledge we bring about will not just be just knowledge sitting abstract, but this will be knowledge that will be utilized. The appropriate officers or agencies responsible will help in its implementation. So if I understand your question, the impact, we want to fill it in our nation. Is that not the case? And so when we have the implementers or the agency themselves as part of the knowledge building or sharing, I believe we can have a better one. But let me also tell you, communicators and friends of media, that you are doing a wonderful work. Have you asked yourself, if you aren't doing what you are doing, what would have happened to this country? Today, we're talking so much about Galamsey. The problem is still there. But ask yourself, if you are not doing what you are doing, bringing to our attention all the effects and all those things, could you have imagined the huge impact that would have been on the country? And so we need to find a way of measuring, how we are benefiting from some of these things, and we can deepen it every day. But let us be encouraged, and let's hope that this program actually is felt by the ordinary person. Ordinary person. We have communicators that will go into our local language where things will be explained to their understanding. And I think it will really have some impact if we do it and do it well. Thank you, Madam.
Good. Thank you very much. I think the former student of Nasford was asking how we are going to empower the institutions. Yeah, the program has started, the initiative has started, and therefore it is the responsibility as the Pro-Vice and Mr. J that we are going to have exchange programs. The EPA will be ready to assist the institutions in any direction that is possible. If in terms of teaching and learning, we'll be there to assist because this is a communication issue. So in terms of attachment or internship, the agency will be ready to open their doors. Fortunately, HR is here. will be able to open our doors for us to have that kind of interaction, so that you learn from us, then we also learn from you. So this is how we're going to assist the institution, and would involve you in at all times. Then in the case of the impact, for me, it depends on you. And that is why today we dedicated it to the media. Because if the media understands what is going on, then the media will be able to present it to the grassroots. The level or the extent that the media can go to the market people, the trotro drivers, the rural people, is far reaching than what probably EPA can go, because you are at everywhere and it is your responsibility. So today you are here. We have started this program or project, or is starting tomorrow, as Mr. J said. So today is a free day. We are rehearsing today. Then tomorrow we start. And we expect that if you don't understand anything, EPA, our doors are open. Come in, let's discuss before probably you send the message out there. Uh, our deputy CEO, they are all here. We are willing to discuss with you. We are willing, like you were saying about the capacity building. Capacity building is not only built in classrooms. There are informal and there are formal ones. So let us have that interaction regularly. And I think this one, the journalists, you can't fault us. Since this administration, the new administration started, it has always been media, media, media. You're always with us. So I believe that you this time understand the environmental issues more better, to present it to the grassroots level the way they would understand. There are other dialects. So at least we will discuss it at that level so that we can do that presentation. But before I take my seat, I was looking around to see one of my colleagues who handles these waste to energy and those things. He's here. I want him to add something small to it so that waste to energy, you can appreciate it more better. Projects are going on, but he knows where they are. Please come in.
Thank you very much, sir. So waste to energy is something that Ghana subscribes to already. We have it in our nationally determined contributions. It's an initiative that we've taken. We have at Ashaiman Safisana project, which converts liquid waste together with some solid waste. We convert it to energy and then feed it into the national grid. So this is something that is being done already that Ghana subscribes to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we call on Prof to give us her closing remarks, I would like to call on our Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Professor Mike Ayamga Adongo, to give us a few thoughts on this initiative. So, Prof, over to you. Let's give him a round of applause.
Chair and colleagues from the academia, media, and of course, a wonderful team from EPA. I've always maintained that EPA is the best place to work. You don't have to stress yourself. The guys know what they are doing. So you can effectively just coordinate and they achieve results. This program is testament. I've got to the office, programs are going on. I decide which one to attend and I come. Back in the university, I'll be scratching my head and struggling to get things right. So Audrey and the team, thank you for that wonderful job. I've always maintained the view that we tend to run a segmented system in this country where we think public sector education is education and the rest of the system is just there. So even as an economist, I've advocated public funding for private universities because the owner of the university may be making profit, but you, the students, the human capital that you are bringing out, are national resource and a national treasure that can advance our development. Unfortunately, many of us don't see it that way. But I think we have to get to the point where we go beyond the one who receives the pay to the one who receives the knowledge. So I'm happy that we at EPA have led the way, and we want to at least use this as a pointer to anyone involved in policy, that it is time we see private education, particularly tertiary education, as education of Ghanaians and not a private business for some people. That's what I want to urge today, and this is one of the silver linings that we want to take away from this program. What you cannot communicate, you can't actually implement, and what you cannot implement, you don't get the results from. So training communicators is one of the bedrocks of development. And at a time that we are grappling with serious environmental degradation, this program is not only a novelty, but also an imperative for national development. So I'd like to thank the initiators. Hussein, I watched him in the public space for the first time today, and young man, you are very fantastic. I'm very impressed to see that you can do this job. I'm going to give you a lot more to do. And Madam Chair, when I was sitting there reading her profile, I'm saying, okay, sometimes I feel like I've done something, then I hear other people's profile, I'm like, okay, I'm just about to start. I want to thank you for your service. I want to also say, Oxford University, yes, it's not easy, but I'm sure gradually we'll get there, and this is something we need to carry forward. On behalf of my boss, the CEO of EPA, somebody came to my office yesterday from the Julie House, and he said, that is only at EPA that the deputy and the bosses are not fighting, and they are working smoothly. And I said, of course, that's why we are professors. The rest professors. But I very happy to be here. She's always given us the room to express ourselves, and this platform is one of them. On behalf of, I would say this program is very dear to us, and it is not only this place that we are going to remain committed to it. Mr. Adochire, we call him co-chair because he's always the chair of everything we are doing. And we are sure him and his team will take this forward. And as you rightly indicated, the doors of the EPA are always open. Media, if you are coming, just look for Audrey Kwako. She's Director of Corporate Affairs. She's always willing to engage you. And thank you all. Let's take the message out from here. Let's communicate climate change, because it is not only climate change we are communicating development. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Once a professor, always a professor. Well said. Yes, well spoken. Okay, so friends of the media, I'm happy you're still here. So, all too soon, we've come to the end of the program. But before we end, we have to listen to our chairperson one more time. So, I'll call on our professor to give us her closing remarks. I wish we had a trumpet here so that we can sound the trumpet as she walks to the podium. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you once again, Audrey. And I could hear the trumpet, so you are sure. Yeah. Indeed, it has been a short but very concise and dense event. There are a number of things that in my closing remarks, I think we might want to take away with us, because what is being said here is the fact that there's a science that is providing us a warning, and governments, even at the global level, and national governments have committed to do something about what the science is telling us about our environment. The gap, we have been told, is ensuring that people in their daily lives are conscious of how their actions impact the environment. And so this is where journalists, communicators come in. how you communicate environmental and climate information for behavioral change. The fact that it's important that this information is accurate, is concise, but also relevant to people's lives. I would like to add the fact that different people interact with the environment differently. And so in packaging our information, we have to be conscious. And also that people have access to different kinds of media. Anytime I'm meeting a media persons, journalists, I like to emphasize the fact that for women, because of time, radio, audio information is critical, because then you can be anywhere and still listen. So we need to look at that. We also have been told about the fact that we want to tell a Ghana story. We are going to the COP 30. What stories are we taking, and who is feeding into this story? So this brings me to this interesting collaboration with Oxford University, Ghana. Because you see, universities have a triple mandate: to teach, to research, and to engage policy. So it's very exciting that you're engaging policy in this way. And in engaging policy, you get empowered. So EPA, this work, there are ways in which what are the courses, even beyond short courses for journalists? Who is doing some course in the environment? What kinds of databases do you have? Can you assist Oxford University connect with that? So Oxford University becomes the stop point for climate accurate information. Okay, this is critical. Now, I'd like to come to the questions that came up. I think the questions were answered, but I would like to say that EPA and Oxford University, please keep the questions at the back of your mind, because within this question is, so there's this opportunity for journalists. How do journalists get to know that they have this opportunity? Then, when the journalists come and are trained, how can they implement what has been taught? So this should be built into the initiatives as well. Then there's a whole question about, as a nation, what's our policy? What's directing it? And so the training is not just how to do journalism, but the training is also to understand as a nation where we stand and why we stand where we stand. And broadly also, within the whole debate, what are the theoretical issues? A number of times people say we don't want theory. I would like to say that we need theory. Because if we don't teach theory and teach concept, we have to teach people examples all the time. And it becomes very difficult for them to function in a situation where they haven't been taught. So the theoretical debates are critical, but how we break down these theories so that journalists can carry with it. So indeed, I would like to say that this National Climate Environmental Communication Initiative, which seeks to empower voices for a sustainable future, is critical, because it's not just a future for us, but we also have a duty to leave the resources that sustain humanity, ensure that it is there for posterity. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much, Professor, for your closing remarks. One of the things I took home from her remarks was climate accurate communication. Those of us within that space, we know how difficult it is to communicate science. And so I am sure with this initiative, we'll be in the classrooms tomorrow to learn how to shape and package our communication in such a way that everybody would understand. Thank you very much. So on behalf of the CEO of the authority, and I want to reiterate the fact that EPA, I heard agency somewhere along the line. We are now an authority, Environmental Protection Authority. We've been an authority since January. So I'd like to reiterate the fact that we are now an authority with more roles to play. Yes, I would like to say a big thank you to the Pro Vice Chancellor of Knatsford University and his team. Our chairperson, Professor Ikuya Brichum, who traveled all the way from Cape Coast this morning, got here at 8:30. So you can imagine if you're in her lecture class and you don't get there early, the trouble you get. She was here at 8:30 prompt. We thank you so much, Prof, and we are inspired by all that you've said for taking time off your schedule. To the CEO, Deputy CEO, Prof, we thank you. It was a last minute thing to deliver something, and we are grateful. To all directors present from the authority, we are also grateful. To the editors and the media, most of you know me. I mean, we cannot work together if we don't have these partnerships, and it's very important that we continue to foster the partnerships that we have. We are truly grateful because I know you have a lot of other programs, but when we came in, the room was full and it's still full. So thank you so much. Last but not the least, we'd like to thank God for, delivering this occasion. The organizers, it hasn't been easy, but we think it was a success. We believe it was a success. So thank you so much, everybody. And before we go, we'll have the closing prayer by Reverend Derek. Thank you very much.
Please, let's pray. Father, we thank you for such an occasion given to us. Indeed, this is the day that you have made. We rejoice and will be glad in it. We live by your wisdom, by your strength that you supply. We thank you for this program, Lord, to help the nation, to bring environment and climate change issues, Lord, to the ordinary people. We pray that, Lord, as we are ending, it will not just end, but you help us with the implementation as well. Thank you. In Jesus' most mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen again and amen. Please, we'll have a group photograph. Yes, just here. So we'll call on our chairperson, Prof, and the Pro Vice Chancellor of Knatsford and his team, the EPA team, and some of the journalists also to join us. Evidence-based. Apart from those taking the pictures, those who are not taking, your colleagues can join us.